I already love Spy Smasher's comment. Who will stop the rain? I prefer blame it on the rain. Blame it on the sun that's shining bright. Oh, the New York Giants. This is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk, brought to you by the mighty FanDuel. It's FanDuel.com, the number one sportsbook in America. Okay, I'm literally wearing my Jackson Dart jersey again because of the fact that I think we're going to have a Jackson Dart support group. Because I'm seeing too many knuckleheads on Twitter. I'm seeing too many knuckleheads on that allegedly create content and are sitting there like, what's wrong with Jackson Dart? What's wrong? What's wrong with number 6? He's not having a good day. He's not having a good showing. There was a 45-minute rainstorm. The offense sputtered. There was multitudes of penalties yesterday. And all of a sudden, it's everyone else's. It's the Jackson Dart syndrome. He's already fallen into the second year slump, the sophomore jinx. Relax. We've said it before. It's no time to panic.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
It's CRR rules. Let me just put this in perspective. Defenses are always ahead of offenses the first couple weeks of training camp. That's just the way it is. Go back to the annals of NFL history, and that's what it is. 100%. So when you add in the inclement weather, the sloppiness, the fact that we are installing a brand new offense that this quarterback has never run before, people are going insane for no apparent reason. Just relax. We've said it before. Have a beer. It don't cost nothing. What are we supposed to do? I mean, every moment of every day, listen, guys, every moment of every day of every training camp, there's going to be something different. There's going to be a player that stands out. There's going to be a player that has issues. There's going to be a player that looks better than others. But at the end of the day, it's training camp. That's it. It's practice. We're talking practice. Joe Spano says it's August 4th and the sky's already falling. John Harbaugh, who I have to give all the credit to in the world, basically came out with this calm demeanor yesterday. Basically came out and was like, oh, okay. He understands, because Harbaugh gets it. He understands every moment is not going to be the end of the world. Every moment is not going to be this thing. Here, let's listen to the venerable John Harbaugh. And he even said, literally, John Harbaugh, who is a lot more intelligent and astute in reference to football than I am, says something very apropos.
I almost expect the defense, and a lot of times the defense is ahead of the offense. You kind of expect that in your camp, like you are installing a new, obviously both sides. Is that even ground, or how do you do that?
Pretty much agree. I think that's always been true. Everybody always says the defense is ahead of the offense early in camp. Probably found that to be true over the years. So seems to be the case.
I love the new Giants hat, the red hat, which would be the blue hat with that dark red Giant logo. I love that hat. But you have your head coach who is saying, yeah, that seems to be true. The sky's not falling. We are not having problems. Everything's okay. Just relax. Let's get the defense and offense installed, and let's go from there. And I hope John Harbaugh saw what he wanted to see, because earlier yesterday, before everything, John Harbaugh was asked the question, what do you expect on Monday when the pads come on?
Full pads, yeah.
What does that change?
It'll be a very similar practice. It'll just change the tempo of the period. So, without the pads, you're not wrapping. We're not going to be tackling to the ground on Monday, but we call wrap and release. So trying to stop the ball carrier if we can on defense and get our pads, behind us on offense, things like that. I'm sure inside it'll be a little more physical than it is out here without the shoulder pads. So it just ramps up just a little bit. But
it just ramps it up, guys. See, look, your head coach is telling you everything's going to be fine. What could be better than a day in the sunshine in New York Giants straight talk? Not much. Skyline said, what's up, everyone? Spy Smasher says, new offense, new targets, learning how a pro quarterback operates, give it time. Yeah, just let's just give it time. Let's not worry. Let's not live and die on every single play and every single snap. Jackson Dart's going to be fine. The offense is going to be fine. We are going to continuously matriculate the ball down the field like we've done previously. I'm not worried about. I'm literally not worried about anything right now. I mean, it's just going to take time. Jackson Dart is not only learning a new system to Spy Smasher's point. He's learning new footwork. He's learning new targets, new weapons. He's working with new targets and new weapons, especially Isaiah Likely, Darnell Mooney, Malachi Fields, Calvin Austin, Mr. Braxton. He's learning everything, even Odell Beckham. What I dislike, though, about all this is the fact that we're really not getting any information out of this camp. I'm sorry about that. Getting feedback again. We're really not getting any information out of this. What I dislike, though, about all why is that feedback still coming out? What the fuck? I'm getting feedback from another monitor, and I don't know why. Tell me why. Don't know why it's not working. Tell me why. I want to know. You are not working. I don't know why. I can't think of it. But it's that way. Tell me why. All right, we're back again. I'm sorry. So we're learning a new offense. We're learning a new system. Everything is going to be fine. I do like the fact of what we're seeing now from Reese. I think that is more than encouraging. I think that you are seeing that Reese is not just an athlete. He is a football player, and that's what we want to see. Let's see, and let's get the John Harbaugh question or approach of what he thinks about Reese.
You see the talent, obviously. I think he's very sharp for a first-year guy. He gets things right pretty much all the time, makes very few mistakes. He's a very serious-minded guy, and he's very determined. I mean, he's doing things well.
That's it, and that's what you want a rookie to do because he's probably going to end up starting. Reese, more than likely, I would say 99%, he is going to start alongside Tremaine Edmonds because you need him to. You're going to need his physicality. You are going to need his ferociousness. You're going to need, who the fuck's texting? All right, guys, I'm already I'm all right, I'm just laughing because it's actually I was texting Big Sean. Sean Salisbury and I were texting, and I was laughing because I was texting. And of course, I'm texting him doing a couple of the things, and I look down. I'm like, and I'm upstairs, and it's a little bit of a walk. It's from the upstairs down to the office. So I'm like, shit, it's 11:59. It's like I gotta go. But let's see here. Also, let's hear about what John Harbaugh speaks about Abdul Carter after practice.
He did. He did. What you've seen from him, what you expect from him. He's had 2 good practices. I mean, he's doing everything well right now. He was in the backfield quite a bit. He's going against a really good tackle too, and thought those guys are making each other better. Just appreciate that kind of competition, ones against ones a lot of times, and he looked good. He's not the only guy.
Yep. So, like I said, John Harbaugh's giving praise to Abdul Carter. He's giving praise to everyone else. One of the things that I was getting to before I got distracted by my cell phone, as always, is the fact that the media blackout's kind of getting to me. And evidently, if you listen to some of the people that cover the Giants, listen to some people in the media, when it started raining, like all the media was just in one tent. They were all jammed in under one umbrella. So you're not really watching they weren't really getting all the information and getting all the practice information that they wanted to get. And listen, I'm not faulting the Giants for the media blackout. I'm just going to say that right now. It doesn't bug me, but it's John Harbaugh's way. It's John Harbaugh's camp. It's John Harbaugh's way of controlling the media. So you know what? I'm not going to I'm not going to sit here and pontificate about this, but evidently, like I said, the defense is well ahead of the offense, as we expected it should be. Jackson Dart, while like I said, he's not only working with a new quarterback coach, he's working with a new offensive coordinator. He's working with a new offensive system. He's working with new wide receivers, new tight ends. Give him time. Give him a moment. There is going to be a moment. I'm going to tell you, does anyone remember back in like 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Every year, especially during the Super Bowl seasons, every year, and I went to all those training camps, every year, the New York Giants offense under Eli Manning sucked during training camp. Literally sucked.
That's what she said.
And we had to hear from everybody how this defense was so dominant and the offense was so terrible. And the season was lost because Eli Manning could not complete a pass in August. These fucking games aren't played in August. They're playing. They start in like September, and hopefully they end sometime in February of the following season or the following year. Especially, I'm not saying that's going to happen for the Giants, but that's what you want to see. So when I have to be again the voice of reason and rationale behind what's going on with the New York Football Giants, we got a lot of problems. Because that I shouldn't be. I'm supposed to be the evil one. I'm supposed to be the one that's negative about everything. I'm supposed to be that guy that is so terrible that, that I don't give the proper speculation and opinions on anything. But somehow I'm the guy that comes out here and pontificates about the fact that we need to start following and start listening to the fact that it's August. We have a preseason game coming up shortly versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm hoping the Giants offense plays at least 2 to 3 series because there's only 3 preseason games. And I'm curious about this because I wish I could ask John Harbaugh this question. I would love to ask John Harbaugh, yes, the season does end in February not for the Giants. August 15th, first preseason game. I'm going to be there. I am going to be there August 15th. It's a 1:00 game, I think. I love 1:00 games. I was thinking about renting the suite again and having subscribers that are in the area come down again like we did last year. But I don't know. We're still working on that. We're still looking at that. I love it. New York Giants missile linebackers take cover. You know what? We've said this before. We've invented this. It's the Tremaine Edmonds missile linebacker of the missile linebacker corps. Take cover, baby. Because don't forget, you also have a new podcast coming out. Balls, Bats, and Bad Decisions. Just throw that out there. I love what the podcast people are like. I love podcast people like because you got now that we're so big. I know we're so big time. I always love when people try to I love when people who are like in the podcast industry have meetings with you and they try to talk you up and they're trying to blow smoke up your ass. And I love sitting in these meetings because I just laugh. And I laugh because I'm sitting here going, you realize I'm just a dumbass in his office on a mic, right? You get that, right? There's no talent here. This is just me. I'm not doing a persona. I'm not doing something else. I'm a dumbass who just has an opinion, but you want to sit there and tell me how wonderful I am. And I'm like, I know what I am. I'm a smartass. I'm arrogant. I'm cocky. And sometimes I'm a dumbass. But thank you for giving me money. So that's all we're going to say about that. But I do like the missile. Have fun, Tim. Always having fun. That's awesome, Tim. What do we, we got the big show coming up. I don't know when it's coming up, but it's coming up. Talent to get sponsors, though. No, we get talent to get sponsors because we sell shit. That's what we do. We sell shit. Let's just be honest. Let's see here. Let's see. What's up? What's up, Mr. What's up, G4? What's up, Tim? Hope you rented the suite again. Hope you rent the suite again, buddy. Why? You going to come if I rent? If there's anyone in the chat that's in the local New Jersey, tri-state, Pennsylvania, New York area, and you want to come on, you want not come on, but if you want to come into the suite and visit, and hang out and watch a game with us, let me know in the chat, because if I see how many people are, or if anyone's even interested, we'll do it again this year. I don't mind. Slider said, what's great talent comes great responsibility. Yeah, I know that. So far, Reese is everything that I hope to be. Slider, you're in Georgia. So you're like 14 hours away. Just get in the fucking car and drive. I don't want to know pussy shit. Get in the fucking car and drive. Mr. Reese is right now meeting I'm not going to say he's exceeding expectations. All you hear out of camp is how wonderful he's doing. All you hear out of camp is how he is like a sponge. And even John Harbaugh said, because we played the John Harbaugh quote, that he's just absorbing information. He's not making mistakes, which is huge for a rookie. I mean, how many rookies do you know that don't make mistakes? I mean, that's incredible to me. When we had Brian Browning on, who covers the Ohio State Buckeyes, and we had him compare Reese and Sonny Styles together. He was basically saying, that Arvell Reese is like a sponge, that Arvell Reese is a football player. He doesn't want to be a player no more. He just crushes a lot, but he is a football player. And right now we are seeing that in camp with his physicality. There's been limited videos coming out, but there's a couple of him dropping back into coverage, and you can literally see the quickness and the ferocity in regards to him dropping back. And you can see, and it's weird though, because I actually posted a clip about it on YouTube. You can see this guy's natural ability. And when he contorted and turned, he actually kind of went sideways and backwards and came back for the ball and still intercepted the shit. Or was not, it was a ball drill, so he didn't really intercept it. But he actually went back. Go find it on YouTube. Because I deleted the file. Because the professionalism told me to delete the file. Go find it on YouTube. You can see the whole thing. You can see his athleticism. And the thing is this, there is a difference between being an athlete and being an NFL player. We've talked about this so many times before. There are so many guys who were quote unquote athletes who only had a cup of coffee in the NFL. There were so many guys that are so good that as just being football players, they were never athletes. I always, if you want to take a comparison to linebackers, Luke Kuechly to me was the definition of a athletic football player, an athletic linebacker. And if you want to go, it's not a disparaging thing to say that he wasn't a true athlete, but if you want to take a look at a middle linebacker who had veracity and was just a football player, you have to go look. I'm trying to think of a name right now of a guy that was like, there was plenty of guys like that were just football players, not athletes, but they excelled because they knew and understood how to play the game. Zach Thomas, who, when he was over in Miami, I would not call Zach Thomas an athlete, but he would always have like 170 tackles because he was a football player. And right now, that's what it's telling me, that Arvell Reese is a football player. It's interesting because one player we're not talking about, and we're always trying to talk about, we're always waiting for a Jalen Hyatt sighting, but we're not getting the Jalen Hyatt sighting that we would think. But right now, you know what's funny? That's a lot of things that a lot of players that people aren't talking about who's actually having a pretty good camp. It's Bo Collins. I've had two other people text me in the last couple days that telling me, listen, you gotta look at Bo Collins. Bo Collins, who is an outlier on this roster and who probably will not make the squad. I'm never going to say I'm never going to say probably, but he might end up on the practice squad. It's going to be Bo Collins. And I laugh because there is a player right now that we are waiting for a renaissance. We are waiting for a resurgence. And it seems to be happening a little bit in camp. People are saying that's Deonte Banks. Deonte Banks is right now. People are saying there is a there with the former first round pick out of Maryland. There could be something there that he could be finally turning the corner and becoming a professional again. This was another guy in Deonte Banks who had levels of maturity issues. And he seemed to be thinking, especially in Banks, that he himself was more important to the team and more important to the organization, and he was basically better than we perceived him to be. And everything that had gone wrong was never Deonte's fault. And I think that's what we have to look. This is what we have to look at right now. Deonte Banks is turning the corner. He's having a renaissance moment. And we got to kind of hope that he continues to do that. Let me make sure we get to the chat. The missiles are hot and locked on. Tim, push the button. All right, great. Greg, what's up, Tim? Damn it, I'm in Georgia. Yes, I'll go. All right, so we got one person that'll go. All right, so we'll ask it over and over again. Good morning, James Stein. Good morning, Tim. Hope all is well. Actually, everything's going pretty good today. Slider says, for Timmy and Tim, I'm waiting for week 1. And Tim, not a good idea. I've been kind of recovering from being sick, so you want me to get you sick? I feel like shit. And I got you sick. Dude, it's 11 days away. So unless you have fucking Ebola, I think you'll be fine. I don't want to call you out, Slider. I want to call you out, brother. Sounds like a pussy excuse to me. Look down, check your vagina, and get in the car. Because you got 11 days. James 9 said, good morning, chat. Hope everyone's doing well. I see Fields starting something I still see Fields starting sometime this season. You talk about Malachi Fields. There has been some, and like I said, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to be a woman. It's hard at times.
That's what she said.
To get information out of this camp, but there is some rumors, there is some talk that that Malachi Fields has looked good at times. There was a couple end zone drills where he looked good on. I loved it right now because Art Stapleton just came out and said if the season starts on Sunday, he would be in the starting lineup for the Giants, and that's an integral part of this team. That would be in reference to Malachi Fields. All right, I could do that. I could see, like I said, I could see that. It's just, you have Tremaine Edmonds, who's now our green dot guy at 6'5", 250 pounds, 2-time Pro Bowler. You got Arvell Reese at 6'4", 241 pounds, 4.46 speed, 16. You have, and I love it because there are people that are over enthusiastic about the Giants linebacker room because the Giants linebacker room is more than just 2 guys. Yes, those 2 guys in the middle are huge parts of this offense. I got my Arvell Reese jersey coming. I got my Jackson Dart jersey on now. I'm going to, on the 15th, I am wearing the Jackson Dart jersey to the MetLife because I feel like I need to support this kid. I feel like that so many people are all of a sudden looking at him and going, and I don't, what's funny? I don't know if it's political because of what he did and what he said. I don't know if that's part of the case. But there just seems to be in certain segments of the fan base a downswing on all of a sudden the talent that he has. And I've said it before. I don't care if my quarterback wears Lee press-on nails. I don't care if he's from Pluto. I don't care if he calls himself a she. As long as you're throwing fucking touchdowns, I don't give a shit. Because it's football. And unlike soccer, because soccer is life, football ain't life. Football's a game. Football's part of the game. So I feel like sometimes people are against this kid now because of what he did, which doesn't make fucking sense to me. I just leave that shit off to the side. I should just quit the channel and become a Buffalo Bills fan. Just saying, didn't pause there. Let's see. That means he's going to have good hips because hips don't lie. Of course they don't. And we're talking about Shakira. WK says, good morning, Joe Spano. Good morning, James Stein. Hope all is well. Joe Ferry says, Zach Thomas was slow as fuck. Knew everywhere play was Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce was a guy that was also a non-athlete. I'm not going to say, because it's disparaging to say he's not an athlete because you still are an athlete, but he was not a pure athlete. Would you say Clay Matthews was a player that wasn't an athlete but knew the game? No, Clay Matthews Sr. Yes. Clay Matthews Jr. No. Clay Matthews Jr. was a true athlete. John Lynch at safety had Tyler Nubin's speed. He did, but he knew where to be on the field. Walters says if Fields doesn't start, I'm confident you'll see plenty of snaps on the field. Listen, I'm going to say this again. There is so much competition in this quarterback room. In this wide receiver room. There's so much competition. Everyone has been like, oh no, the sky is falling because Malik Davis isn't ready yet. No, it's going to be fine. Don't sleep on Darnell Mooney. Don't sleep on Malachi Fields. Don't sleep on Calvin Austin. You got guys in this room that have talent. And don't forget, Isaiah Likely, even though he is listed as a tight end, really isn't a tight end. So if you play 275 snaps in the slot last year, you're not a true tight end. He's going to line up all over the field. He's going to be like dog shit in the field in my backyard, all over the field. Darius Slayton, even though he is Mr. Drop, you know that Darius Slayton is going to make catches at times. You know that. And we have to keep that in mind. I've said this before. You put out, once Malik Nabers comes back, you can run a 4 wide receiver set that could be deadly. And I've already said this before. At some point in time, I would want to have Malachi Fields, Malik Nabers, Darnell Mooney, Calvin Austin on the field, and I would like to see Isaiah Likely coming out of the backfield, and I want to see Theo Johnson at the tight end.
Tower, this is Ghost Rider requesting a flyby.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Who the fuck are you going to cover? And then you have a quarterback that you are teaching to set to 3-step drop, set up quick, make quick decisions. Don't understand that you don't always have to hit the escape hatch when the pocket gets a little money. You have 3 professional former head coaches working with this kid. And also then you have the CEO of John Harbaugh taking care of this shit as well. Clay Matthews was an animal. Luke Kuechly would run your entire game plan. He studied films. He knows what the offense is doing. He was awesome. Hoping our linebackers can do that. I heard somebody say Luke Kuechly about Arvell Reese. And I also heard we talked yesterday about Arvell Reese and Pat Willis. Patrick Willis's rookie season was like 180 tackles. He had one of the best rookie seasons as a linebacker that you could have. He 174 tackles, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a partridge, and played all 16 games. AP Defensive Rookie of the Year, first team All-Pro, Pro Bowl selection. That's what you want the guy to be. Is he going to be a Patrick Willis right off the bat? I don't know. I hope he is. But there is a comparison there. Patrick Willis, of course, was taken in the Giants Super Bowl year, 2007, 11th round pick. 11th overall pick, not 11th round pick. This is a guy, though, like I said, that if you watched him play, you understood him. That rookie season was beyond reproach. And he didn't have to rush the quarterback. He did everything else so well, and he did everything else so well for about 9-10 years. If you can get that type of production, I'm not saying that Arvell Reese is going to be that. I'm just telling you this. If you can get that type of production as a rookie season out of Arvell Reese, sign me up. Sign me up and let me know, because that's what I want to see. Let's see here. John Robinson got an extension. I don't care about that. And a partridge in a pear tree. What else do we got here? I don't know who that is. Mr. Hopstep. Let me like that. Let's see. McFadden is going to have a good comeback here as well.
That's what she said.
Yeah, we want to make sure he comes all over that back.
That's what she said.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm just a little randy today.
Draft, baby. Yeah.
And much better skills than Tyler Nubin. 100% better skills than Tyler Nubin. I was over in Tampa when Mr. Lynch was there with Rondé Barber. I've always liked McFadden. I'm not a huge McFadden fan. because of the fact that McFadden still has like an 11.6 missed tackle percentage for his entire career, but he's going to have to play because honestly, if you take a look at what's backing up the Giants linebacking core, and if they're truly going to call this linebackers as Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, you're backed up by Kayvon Thibodeau, Jack Kelly, Micah McFadden, and people like Caleb Downs, Darius Muasau, and Zarius Barnes. All I know is the when you are hoping that Shelby Harris is going to be a defensive tackle, and I like Shelby Harris. I like the Shelby Harris signing. I love the DJ Reader signing. I love the Darius Alexander signing. You better, I mean, you better dial it up. And that's what I'm going to say. And that's what I'm going to say to Denard Wilson. This defense better fucking dial it up because you have some guys that are not true linebackers or we're going to have to maintain and hold the edge in Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, and Kayvon Thibodeau. And like I said, if I see Carter, Thibodeau, and Burns on the field at the same time, I'm thinking you bring in the heat. And then if I'm thinking that, I am checking out of the pass, going into a delayed handoff and taking advantage of the over aggressiveness of these three guys, which teams have done over the last 3 years. So we're going to have to preach, or I'm going to have to say this. Darnell Wilson's going to have to preach patience. And I think this should be the theme for the 2026 Giants. It should be patience because you're going to have to know your assignment, play as a unit, not over pursue, not become over aggressive, do not freelance, because while we have talent on this defense, we do not know how this talent is going to mesh together yet because we haven't taken a snap even in a preseason game. So if the defense looks dominant against Minnesota, patience. If it does not look and play well against Minnesota, patience. Taken away again from Margaritaville. Oh my God. People got to stop texting me. Okay. It's patience. That's what you're going to need. And if the offense comes out and sputters, kind of like my hoopty sputter, rolling over gutters, just like that, you're going to have to preach patience. You're going to have an understanding that we're learning a new offensive philosophy. We're working in a new quarterback coach, a new offensive coordinator. And we're also sitting there and looking at this from an organizational standpoint that we are not building. John Harbaugh has a 5-year contract, not a 17-game contract. This is all going to be a process, and finding out which players fit with which players are going to be part of this organization's 4 years down the road is going to take patience. And I think sometimes that's where Giant fans, can McFadden can make the tackle. McFadden, like I said, Micah McFadden does things well. He showed a lot of promise at times. But the problem, he is a guy that can get you. This is a guy that can get you a bunch of tackles. This is also a guy who has moments of breakdowns in his game. This is a guy that had 101 tackles and 107 tackles, 63 solo, 38 assists, 60 solo, 47 assists. We always say this, and what do we say? You always want to have more solo and tackles and assists because why? Then you are leading the point of attack. We always go back to Tate Crowder. Tate Crowder in his big season where he had 151 tackles, wherever the fuck it was. And then he had like 40 solo and like 90 assists. And I kept trying to explain to people, when you have that many assists, that is called a pylon stat. Pylon stat even goes back to college. I've had plenty of pylon stats. You jump onto the pile, you get an assist. That's all that meant. So at least Micah McFadden leads the point of attack. The only problem is he doesn't really get you tackles for losses. He has an opportunity to miss tackles in space. He's got a 12.9 missed tackle percentage. His 2023, it was 17.9. Last year, he cut it down to 12.3. I'm sorry, 2 years ago, because that'd be 2024, 2023. So he is a guy that's not going to get you many tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He's not going to knock down the quarterback a lot. He is going. You don't want him in coverage because his quarterback rating against is 105.5, and he gives up 81.2% completion percentage for over 10 yards of completion. So you don't want him in coverage. He's a 2-down linebacker that should back up these guys and, give him a little breather on first and second down at times, but he's a 2-down linebacker. He is definitely an NFL caliber player in Micah McFadden. He just needs to know his role, and his roles was always a little bit more, it was, in my opinion, his role was more expanded in the last couple of years at a necessity than in regards to the way he plays. You can't cover a bed with a fucking blanket. He isn't perfect, but I like him too. WK says Banks has to prove it on the field to the Giants fans. Too many letdowns in the past. He's only been here 3 years. He's only been here 3 years, brother. Yeah, it's not like he's been letting us down for it's not like a Daniel Jones. I've always felt that Banks has had talent. I liked him when they took him out of Maryland. I liked him year one because he played in a system that fit his skill set. He was the perfect Marlon Humphreys type player for the Wink Martindale system. It's when you go into this passive bend, not break, Shane Bowen. It's not even a Tampa 2 style defense where you're only rushing 4 guys, and a lot of times you're playing this zone that he does not fit well in. Yeah, he lost focus and he lost commitment, 100%. But my thing is this: he's looking good in camp right now. Hit the like button, guys. Make sure you hit the like. He's looking good in camp. He's showing some skills that we haven't seen in the last. We only have 18 fucking likes. Got over 50 some people watching. Got over 100 people watching over there. We only got 50 something fucking likes. It's not that hard to push the button. Watch this. I did it. Wilson might be really a DB. I hope to God Denard Wilson is. If you take a look at Denard Wilson's track record before he became a defensive coordinator, he is known for being a guy that has worked with corners and turned their careers around. Hey, there's Joe Spano. I'm doing great. The scheme fits Banks' talent. The coaching staff seems to have restored his confidence, which was shot. A lot of times I will tell you this as a former player. And people that never played the game at a higher level may not get this but also you can take this into life. Confidence is important. Sometimes you have all the ability in the world, but you have zero confidence. You are sitting there waiting for the Shane Falco moment. You are swimming in quicksand. Because it seems like then when you have zero confidence, one bad thing happens, then another thing, then another, until you're playing in quicksand. That was a great analogy. Anyone who's ever played the game at a higher level will tell you that is a great analogy. Because sometimes it just seems like shit comes in bunches. And sometimes the shit that comes in bunches stays in bunches for a couple of years. It doesn't go away. And as your confidence dwindles more and more and more and more, you feel like then you connect things that you had done since Pop Warner, you can no longer do. You can no longer find that stride. You can no longer find what made you the player you were. And then you have the fans getting on top of you. You have the coaching staff then tell you, and it's okay, it's all right. Then your attitude wanders. Then your focus wanders a little bit. Then the next thing you know, you're sinking in quicksand. Thank you, Shane Falco. And I think Deonte Banks, I kind of think that's where we were at with him. So sometimes you need sometimes you basically need, arm around the shoulder more than you need a kick in the ass. And I'm thinking right now that the Giants and Denard Wilson are trying to rebuild his confidence and get something out of this kid so we can see if we even want to take a look at him, since we didn't pick up the 5th-year option, bringing him back next year. I'll be there. Mr. Olsen, Mr. Moet Olsen, brother. I'll be there. We were just talking about the fact that I'm thinking about renting out a suite again, and having subscribers come in. So if you're going to be there and you're interested, just let me know in the chat. We had one person that said they would definitely go. And what we'll do if we do it again this year, it'll be you and a guest. So so Our range at linebacker this year is going to be crazy. Our range at linebacker this year crazy in reference to Tremaine Edmonds and Arvell Reese. Yes, you're right. It's gonna be fucking insane. It's gonna be insanity at its finest. You are going to be limited though. You are going to be extremely limited though in range when it comes to coverage. Tremaine Edmonds is a 3-down linebacker, but am I going, after what I've seen for 2 seasons in Chicago, am I fully going to trust him in coverage? No. Arvell Reese is a rookie, so he's still learning. Micah McFadden cannot cover. We've already said that 81.7% completion percentage against, 105 QBR rating against. He's not a coverage guy. And neither is Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, or Kayvon Thibodeau. So we're gonna have to look at it from that perspective. Disrespect for Darius Muasau? This is insane. Darius Muasau should not be in this league. I'm sorry. Darius Muasau is a special teamers. Slider said, I want linebackers big and strong, fast, something that's like the Parcells Giants. Just asking a lot. Well, I laugh that the Parcells Giants were on average of like 6'4", 245. Even because you had Banks, Carson, Taylor, and Reasons, backed up by Johnson, backed up by Brian Hunt, Robbie Jones, and Andy Hedden. And these were all big. These 8 guys were all big guys. It's amazing the size of that linebacker core in 86. It is amazing. Tom says the linebacker room is so much better than what it was. God, since 2007 with AP and Kiwanuka Mitchell. I agree. Go to sleep, but I'm not tired. Tom said, let's see. I know a girl who had a Giants channel who did that recently. You mean she's not a Giant fan anymore? You mean we have to listen to someone who has no knowledge of football, who only started covering the Giants or liking the Giants like a year ago, who then all of a sudden decided to become a Knicks fan and doesn't know anything about basketball? You mean we're not going to get our astute information from that person anymore about the Giants? You lie. Where else am I going to go to get inane information that makes no sense and is basically a chat GPT analyst? Oh, there's a lot of channels. Sorry. Good morning, Walter, says Joe Spano. New Jersey fangirl takes a lot of strays here. You know what? If you don't want to be in the line of fire, don't do stupid shit. Reports are that they are loving Dex in Cincinnati. Meanwhile, Reader seems to be embracing the leadership role for us. We've said this before, and we're going to say this again. It was just time for Dexter Lawrence to go. When we had Solomon Wilcox on, Solomon Wilcox said it best, and I have to find that quote because he literally said that, and he said it in the nice way, that Dexter basically had given up in New York. And I was like, well, that's kind of fucked up to say, but he was right. He was right, and evidently Cincinnati's embracing himself. They got a lot of young defensive ends around him. Cincinnati is trying to get a defense put together to make a run. Yeah, I agree. Slider says, I never thought Zach Thomas would be a Hall of Famer. Glad he made it. He was very good. Zach Thomas, again, he is the non-athletic player who was a Hall of Famer. And like I said, sometimes the best football players are not what you refer to as pure athletes. Tim, can you see more games won by the offense or defense this year? Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I see this. I see the Giants offense winning more games, but I see the Giants defense closing out games this year. And it's really going to be predicated on the secondary itself. What did I do? What did I do on that place that's one letter? Because people are just pushing things out for me. And I really appreciate it, but thank you. I don't know who you people are. Tough to find many negative reports this time of year, Spy. Oh, no, just go talk about Daniel. Go talk about Jackson Dart. Doesn't New Jersey Fangler collab with Entertainer and Bad Dog? Yeah, I think. Joe Ferry says, I guess I don't watch. I don't have any problems with these people. They have been nice to me over the years. Well, that's because you're a nice guy. You're a nice guy, Joe Ferries. I'm not. It's okay. The content creators are mostly afford are the people employed by the Giants. Yeah, that's true too. Mr. Hiker says, no, I no longer have an interest in New Jersey FanDuel or any of her social media. The other guys are fine, but I won't watch it. Well, you can't bash the quarterback and then say you're no longer following the Giants because he was a quarterback. Because you're really following the Giants anyways. You basically said you got fired from your job. You got a severance package and said, oh, you know what? I got nothing to do. So let me make a Giant channel. Sorry. I just say it like it is. I just do what I need to do. But sometimes you know what you need to do? Sometimes you have people out there that really help you out. I was at the supermarket yesterday. You know what? And I wanted to make empanadas. But the problem was I couldn't find the shells to make the empanadas. They weren't there. The Goya shells weren't there. They were all gone, completely gone. This nice lady that works over at the store comes over to me and says, what are you looking for, honey? I said, I'm looking for empanada shells. She's like frozen. I'm like, of course, frozen, because I'm in the frozen food section. That woman went into the freezer. I think she must have been like 4'11" because I think she actually went in the freezer and totally disappeared. She went that extra mile. She did everything she could to help me. Now, that may not seem like much, but when people go that extra step for you, it makes a positive impression. If you're hiring great candidates, you can also go that extra step and tell you they are interested in your job on ZipRecruiter as a way to stand out from the others. And right now, try for free. ZipRecruiter.com/audio. And ZipRecruiter has a new feature that shows you the most interested qualified candidates first, so you meet the right people faster. ZipRecruiter's powerful matchmaking technology. No, it's not Skynet. Find you qualified candidates quickly. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. So you know what we're going to do? Try ZipRecruiter and meet great candidates who will go that extra step for your job. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get qualified candidates within the first freaking day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. I'm going to say it again. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Joe Ferries also says, yeah, I'm sure she wants to sign Christian Wilkinson and Stephon Diggs as well. I don't know what she wants to sign. Joe Ferries says, but hey, I want to hear some bullshit on the Giants. She's a lot easier on the eyes than Art Stapleton. I don't know. Art Stapleton is, he's a handsome man. Throwing that out there. Let's see here. I think I'm done. I'm finally done thinking we're getting another running back before week 1. No, you cannot think that. You cannot think that. Listen, when Najee Harris gets that clean bill of health after tearing his Achilles in week 3, he gets that clean bill of health. He pulls, he comes back out. He's looking for a new team. He's looking for a commitment. I guarantee the Giants will run there because he's probably going to take a veteran minimum. James Stein says, look at what Dart does off the field. It's not important. What is important is what he does on the field. End of story. James Steins gets it. Why can't she get it? Joe Spano says, we knew Reese had athletic gifts. Pleasant surprise how strong his football instincts are. Oh, yeah, I never finished the Brian Browning thing. So Brian Brown, who covers I was talking to him, who covers the Ohio State Buckeyes. He was marveling at the fact that not only is Arvell Reese such a good player and such a good athlete for his size, but he has wonderful football instincts. And that's what you want out of a linebacker, and that's what we want to see. That's what we haven't seen in years. I Am Robbie says McFadden's a bit over. I don't think McFadden's overrated. I think he's overvalued. And I think he's more overvalued by the fan base. I think the Giants understand his limitations. And that's why even though he's coming off, they didn't really offer him any type of contract coming off the injury. They gave him a prove-it deal for a guy that if they thought, it wasn't a significant injury. It wasn't an injury that was like, can he come back? Can he ever come back? No, it was so they didn't sit there and tender him anything tenure. I wish I had tenure. They didn't tender him a contract that was of a guy that they felt was going to be an integral part of the defense. They basically gave him the prove-it deal. Let's see. Your Joe Ferry says, Tim, well, you missed a 7-6 joke stream, and I still like you. Who cares about missed tackles? He's a kid. I root for it to get better, not saying he's incredible. When you miss 13% of your tackles over 4 years, that and your last 2 seasons ago, you missed 17.6 tackles. That's a lot. that's a lot. Just throwing it out there. Well, let's see here. With Wilson as our DC and the key additions we've made, I wouldn't settle for anything less than the top 8 defense this year. Top 8 in the NFC. That's a good question. I actually see us a top 15 defense. That's where I see it landing. I see a top 15 defense, and there's nothing wrong with the top 15 defense because you still have defensive questions. There's certain people that just post stupid shit, and I wish I had my stupid Twitter post. If Deontay Banks proves an ounce of value on defense, John Harbaugh contract will be worth every penny. So wouldn't it be Denard Wilson's contract that would be worth every penny, not John Harbaugh's contract? Because John Harbaugh is basically CEO of this team, and John Harbaugh's even come out and said, I'm not going to be this guy that's going to be screaming around all the defensive areas or offensive areas with the bullhorn. I'm the CEO. Oh, my God. This is there's going to be a ban and a moratorium on social media. Spy Smashers, Joe Spano says, Spy, when it comes to instinct to football and IQ, elite athleticism, never started as possible. It's way too early to get excited, but the arrow seems to be pointed at the right direction. McFadden is a good kid. He is a good kid. He's very easy to root for. Oh, for Jalen Smith, the WWE diva on the pile after the play. You're 100%. What does Ann have to say? Tim, I think Nagu will use likely like Travis Kelce. You mean young Travis Kelce? Because not the Travis Kelce from the last 2 seasons, where basically Nagy was there. I think I'm trying to think of a player that's now that he could be. I'm trying to think of the. I'm trying to think. You know, if you know, I would probably say that they're going to use him more as I would go more George Kittle. I would go, but George Kittle is a dominant inline blocker, but he's a guy who thrives because he's an elusive athlete. He's an exclusively high level athlete with an explosive wide receiver. But they play George Kittle everywhere. So if I wanted to pick a player for him, I would go George Kittle. McFadden will blitz and only be totally out of the play. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. I wish I could tell you right. McFadden is a very good backup and a better tier bottom tier star. Nothing more, especially with less type of players every team can use on their roster at the right price. Joe Ferry says, and who knows with Banks? I think he's got some crazy kickoff returns on the upside. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Deontay Banks is going to be, like I said, you can put him on. We know you can put him on special teams. One of the things that I am not worried about in reference to the Giants special teams is kickoff and punt returns because they got enough guys. Spy Smasher says Jack Kelly is far from a tackling machine, but he does have speed off the edge comparable to Carter's. You know what I don't want to see? And I was thinking about this with Jack Kelly because I was talking to someone about Jack Kelly yesterday who was in West Virginia. And they were saying that in regards to him being a linebacker, probably not the best position for him, but he has the ability to rush the passer. He has the speed. And I found it funny because someone else said the same thing, Spy Smasher. They saw him having comparable attributes to Abdul Carter. I was like, well, we took Abdul Carter 3rd overall. We took Jack Kelly in the 7th round. And I don't want to see a Gus Frerotte, Heath Schuler for your old timers type scenario going on where you got one guy that's such a high first overall pick, and you got another guy who came in much later in the draft, and the other guy, all of a sudden you're starting to compare him to the guy that you really like. What's up, Kristen? I'm doing good. I got no problems. I got no qualms. How long have you been streaming? I don't know. Day and a half. This is actually my first stream. So you put Jack Kelly out there, you might as well play the Benny Hill. What do we got here? Big Ant says this: over under 7 years until the Giants fangirl morphs into petition train. See, I gotta answer it now because it was a super chat, and all super chats go to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. So I gotta answer it. That's just a little mean. That's just a little. Listen, Patricia Traynor has talent. She has talent, and she covers the Giants. She's just a giant homer shill, which is fine because she doesn't get paid by the Giants. She gets paid by Sports Illustrated, but that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. She has a hard time saying derogatory things in reference to the Giants. But that's all there is. That's just what it is. You know, what the fuck? When does this price get cut? Sorry, I'm looking at houses in Florida. Technically, I'm looking at condominiums in Florida. There's this. We're having an issue with this one condominium. It's a very nice condominium. It's a very nice unit, and it's what they refer to as a lower level penthouse. But it's there's just some issues. But just some other one just came on the market and they just dropped 40-something thousand. So I'm gonna have to send this to our. I'm going to send this to our real estate agent, Greg. I got to send it to him. Okay. I'm back to work. Sorry. Back to work. I'm sorry. What was the question? No, because I think Patricia Traynor has talent. There's a difference. You can have talent, and I think Patricia Traynor has talent, and she's just a homer, which is fine because that's what beat writers are. Even though she works for Sports Illustrated, I think the other one just wants to be a personality, which is fine. You gotta look at it that way. All right, I gotta go back to the top. Let's see here. I'll make sure we get to everyone today. Let's see here. Angles are all about instinct and anticipation. Confident, Joe Spano says, almost as much as talent can make or break a player. What do we also got here? What's your YouTube name? I don't have a YouTube name. I like when the bots come in. Do you ever let's see, do we even have any defensive ends? No. Yes, we have defensive ends. We have. I am not wanting to take Brian Burns away from the defensive line because I think on the outside his natural instincts and ability to rush the passer are 100% there. You can see that natural ability. And at times when you put him in the stand-up position, especially if you move him into the interior, I think he's going to get lost in the sauce. So do we have defensive ends? Yes. Do we have true defensive ends? No. You in the NASCAR. O-lines were a lot smaller in the 80s too. You're right, 100%. Most major league players across all sports, elite are not extremely extremely confident. You're right. We are a small population. Skyline says, should we be concerned about kicking? No, not yet. Not yet, because there is the place kickers you can find. Good, consistent place kickers, sometimes you have a problem with. Basically, I mean, if you go back to the history of how the Giants got Graham Gano, we basically pulled Graham Gano out of our ass because of Dave Gettleman. So you're going to have to find it's going to have to be, you can find a place kicker. Punting is what I worry about at times, but I'm not worried about the punter because the Giants got a good punter. You need a directional guy. You need a guy with a big enough leg that's going to have enough hang time. Everyone always wants to talk about the average yards per return, but you also need to look at the hang time because the hang time allows your special teams units to get downfield. But I think we're solidified. I think we are solidified with the punting game, the kicking game. I think we'll probably bring something in. Good question, I'd say. Offense, that was a good question about who is going to be closing out the games. Nice. I said something that didn't piss you off. You never say anything that pisses me off, Joe. It's all good. Let's see here. Tim, I hope Newman is learning how to take angles when trying to make plays. It's not geometry. Well, maybe it could be. Got a Goya. Yeah, it was a Goya, boy. It was a good Goya day. Let's see here. I'm still doing good. Let's see. Skyline says, can you see us as buyers or sellers by the trade deadline? Skyline, listen, brother. I'm going to tell you this right now, brother. It's August. I can't think about if we're buying or selling right now. It's fucking August. Check with me. Check with me in a few weeks. Check with me in November. Because right now we're in August. Let's get up to 40 likes. Come on. 40 likes. Art is anything but handsome. I don't know. Never met him. Breaking news: Jalen Hyatt made it out of the locker room. Oh yeah, just messing with you. Let's see here. Spice mentioned Art could make an onion cry. Oh my God. Let's see. Ant says what? Over under 70. Oh, we already got to that one. Well, as soon as Hyatt made it out, he said, "I'm in the sunlight." Oh my God. He ran back. He ran back in again. Stupid posted shit. Oh, Tim, I know. Cho Sports. Do I get extra credit? No, it was actually Alex Wilson. Alex Wilson wins the stupid post of the day with the post that I just read, and I just lost it. New York Giants expand partnership with NBC4 Telemundo, adding preseason games, preseason show, and a John Harbaugh series in Spanish coverage. I'm not going to say anything, but I mentioned this before. I did some work from Telemundo, so out of Miami. So. Let's see here. I want to thank Jerry Foley from the Giants Insider Podcast for coming on and this week and catch up with the Giants' latest news. We're going to have some guests on. We're going to have a guest on Sunday for the stream, but I'm not going to tell you exactly who the guest is, but we're going to have a guest on Sunday. Oh, the stupid post was Deontay Banks coverages have been, no, well, that's not it. That's not it. That wasn't the stupid. I lost the stupid post, but that's fine. We're all good with that. I think some people we need to worry about a little bit are the fact that we got to worry about Jameis Winston a little bit. Jameis Winston is a seasoned veteran, has actually looked terrible. I'm hearing he's looked terrible in camp. And as Jackson Dart is learning to be an NFL quarterback, one of the things that he needs to learn is how to slide and protect himself. And we hope that he's learned that valuable lesson and we can get at least 15 games out of him. But let's just say, for argument's sake, you only get 14 games, so that's 3 additional games. Are we really going to be satisfied with the play of Jameis Winston when he does not fit the Matt Nagy system? The Matt Nagy system, if you go back to Patrick Mahomes, is still a freewheeling system, but you have to play within control. You have to play within yourself. And I think that's not what the things Jameis Winston does well. And I've said this before. Everyone loves Jameis Winston year one. You go back to Tampa, you go back to Cleveland, you go back to the Saints. It's then by year 2, the antics starts wearing thin. That's like the Cam Scatterboo shit. The Cam Scatterboo and yelling before every practice and all that bullshit and all that Harry high school bullshit is great. But the problem is this: you get into year 2 and 3, and all of a sudden it just starts getting annoying unless you're putting up 1,000 yards. And the problem is Brandon Allen fits the Nagy system better than Jameis Winston, but I'm not confident with Brandon Allen either. And I'm not confident right now that we're going to see Jackson Dart for more than 14 games. That's going to be a question that we need to take a look at. Did you see Schmernick and Garofalo Cringe Fest? Don't know who that is. Mark Garofalo? The guy that's Hulk? Or was that Peter Norton? That was Hulk. I don't remember. That's a go-in spy. I wonder how much Art charges to haunt. Hey, leave Art Stapleton alone. Leave Art Stapleton alone. Oh, by the way, this Sunday, Art Stapleton will be on the show. If we do sign Harris, where does that put him on the depth? If you sign Najee Harris, I give him 2-3 weeks. Especially if you sign him in camp, I give him 2-3 weeks, and then he is the starting running back. And that's not fully a slight against Cam Scatteraboo. That's not a slight tremendously against Tyron Tracy. This is a guy that rushed for 1,000 yards 4 out of 5 seasons in Pittsburgh. Had the eye injury and then the Achilles over with the Chargers. He is an every down back. He is a 20 carry back that can get you 1,000 yards, that can keep the chains moving, can keep the clock going. You hope you get a bunch of 3 and outs with your defense. He is a guy that can move the chains and move the needle on the clock, move the hands of the clock. To me, he would be right there. Scott likely sounds like Evan Ingram with better hands. I don't, you know what I'm going to say to this? He's not going to be the Jason Garrett Evan Ingram. He is going to be the Evan Ingram that 3 seasons ago had the second most receptions in NFL history by a tight end in a single season. That's what I want to see him like. Joe Spano says, Joe Spano, have you seen it to believe it? Giants huddle, I think. I don't know this shit. I don't even know who the Garuffalo is and who Schmelik is. Which one's Schmelik? Schmelik. You might find this hard to believe. I don't watch a lot of, I don't really watch anything. I don't watch TV. Definitely don't watch YouTube. I like movies. Kurt Russell, I think next week is going to be at a fan fest, like the first time ever, signing autographs and taking pictures. I'm actually thinking about flying out to Chicago to meet Kurt Russell, because Kurt Russell and Dennis Quaid are like 2 of my all-time favorite actors. Kurt Russell has 2 of my top movies, and Escape from New York. Well, technically 3: Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, and a guilty pleasure movie, Captain Ron. And Dennis Quaid, Inner Space with Martin Short. And don't forget Kurt Russell and Tequila Sunrise. He was The Thing. First fucking movie, he's kicking Elvis in the leg, and it happened at the World's Fair. I might have to fly to Chicago to meet Kurt Russell. Skyline has, I think, likely is a better route runner and better football instincts. I likely would turn out to be, and hope to be, Evan Ingram. Patricia looks like Aunt Rose. RFP Aunt Rose. I miss the apple pies. Prince says they are struggling in training camp. Oh my God, Tim, we are completely fucked. Time to start looking at the 2000 draft. Prince, brother. It's my professional opinion.
My professional opinion that now is the time to panic.
I said it before. When I am the bastion of reason, the modicum of hope, we're all fucked. Because I'm supposed to be Mr. Negativity. But I'm sitting here in my Jackson Dart jersey. Great head of hair today. Saying, listen, just because he had a bad training camp in the rain, in an offense he's learning on his first time in the pads, with a new quarterback coach, with a new passing coordinator, give him some breaks. Give him a break. Just wait and see what happens. And I've said this before. You go back to 2007 through 2011. The Giants' offense was putrid in training camp. I remember being in training camp with Tom Coughlin, not with Tom Coughlin, but and Eli Manning, looking how bad the offense is. I remember the offense coming on from multitudes of preseason games going, oh my God, we're never going to score. We're literally going to put up negative points. It's whatever. It's August. Apologies, Tim. That was out of pocket. No, it's all right, brother. It's all good. You don't need to apologize. Yo, brother, what's up? Prince says, what do you mean he lost the locker room? Just go find it. Alex, oh, thank you. I can't find Zach Attack. What's up? Alex Wilson's Firestar Jenks. Soaring Wing Show. Fly, Eagles, fly. Testing. What happened there? Hold on.
Testing. Fly, Eagles, fly. Hopefully at the bottom of the NFC.
Let's see. I'm on vacation, so I finally got some time to upload again. Well, good, my brother. I was supposed to be on your show. Fireside Giants don't know ball. Ellie says, with the expectations are super high, if the Giants take it to the short against Dallas, say something close to 41 zips like, will the outcry be worse than ever? Well, I'm going to tell you this. If I wanted to go and bet on that game, there's only one place that I would go. I would go to the mighty FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com, number one sportsbook in America. And right now, the New York Football Giants are still 2.5-point home dogs against the Dallas Cowboys in that opener. I'm going to go to the Sportsbook, and I've already taken the Giants and the points because I've already said it, and you can book it now. The New York Football Giants are winning that game 24-17. It's a done deal. Done. Dono Omegato, Mr. Roboto. That fucking shit is done. I'm going to say it now. Say it proud. I'm taking the 2.5 points. I'm going to the mighty FanDuel and doing that. The Giants right now are still, let's see here. What are the Super Bowl odds? The Giants are still at plus 6,500. They've dropped from plus 6,000. They're still ahead of the Atlanta Falcons, just below the Steelers, which I find interesting, even with Aaron Rodgers. The Indianapolis Colts are plus 5,000, man. I can't believe that. I cannot believe it. But what I find even more interesting, that Jackson Dart is at plus 6,500 to win the NFL MVP award, which I find interesting because I believe we have Abdul Carter at plus 4,500 to take the Defensive Player of the Year award, which should be interesting. And if we take a look at who's going to win the conference championship, the New York Giants are still not anywhere near the race. But that's all right because they are in a strong division right now. But right now, like I said, I would take Jackson Dart and the plus 6,500 to win the NFL MVP. I'm already telling you right now, take the New York Football Giants and 2.5 fucking points. Go on, fans. Go right now. Go to FanDuel.com. Of course, load it down, download it. One of the easiest apps to use. And we've said this before. Bet $5 daily. Get $1,000 in bet reset tokens. Get up to $1,000 in bet reset tokens. Where you bet $5 daily for the next 5 days. You'll receive $200 in bet reset tokens every day you qualified. And of course, that's going to be on the mighty FanDuel. We love FanDuel. I also, the Sportsbook is awesome, but I really do like the casino games. I've said it before. There's Love Island Unlocked, which kind of cracks me up. There's some of these games on FanDuel that crack me up. There's a game called Gold, Collect Them All that I really enjoy playing as well. And I also take a look at Matt Vegas Gold Blitz Fortune Tower is another fun game. All this can be found on the mighty FanDuel. They have the casino games. They have the Sportsbook. They have FanDuel TV. They have everything over at FanDuel. And that's FanDuel.com, the number one sportsbook in America. Sliders says, I remember the great Tim saying, O-line hate quarterbacks who scramble and do not know what the hell he is doing. Please side and protect yourself. I admit I did say that. But when we had Jumpin' Joe Valario and Jerry Oslowski, both veteran NFL linemen, they said the same thing, that one of the worst things that you could do is block for a scrambling quarterback because you have no fucking idea where they are. We talked. I used to hang out at Buckhead in Atlanta a lot when Michael Vick was there, and I remember we would run into some of the offensive linemen for the Falcons, and I would talk to them, and they would be like, "We have no fucking idea where he's going to be when it's the worst thing fucking possible because there's no way you can plan for that." Let's see. Also, a first down on the quarter is getting you blasted. Now, why is we need him for 16? I need him for 17 games. What's up, my brother? Who's our CBT going against Dallas, and who covers Lamb? I'm not even sure Paulson Adebo is our CB1 yet because, like I said, it's still in training camp. But right now, and you're not really hearing anything about Greg Newsome. I'm sorry. You're not really hearing anything about Greg Newsome. We haven't heard anything about Greg Newsome. We haven't heard anything about Colton Hood. I know Darius Washington has been playing well, but I don't want him at the safety position because I don't need a Dominic Palmer and Munchkinland playing at the safety position because he is the smallest safety. He is the smallest safety in the league of Darius Washington. You also see her playing a little bit of nickelback behind Drew Phillips. I I think the perfect scenario would be Paulson, Adebo, and Banks. And I know that sounds weird. And I would like to see Colton Hood thrown in there at either the left or the right position. But I would like to see that going into Dallas. And Paulson Adebo, if he can find the skills that he had with the Saints as one of the best press cover man-to-man corners in the business, you put him on Lambs, and you're going to have to pray and hope on the other side of the field with George Pickens. Jennifer's somebody tries, but no one succeeds. John Schmelik, and Mike Garofalo. That seems like that should mean something to me. That seems like that should mean something. Those names should mean something to me. But I'm trying to think right now who the hell they are. But I have no idea. I know Paul Diatino sluts.
Welcome to hell.
No, that's not Hell's Coming With Me. I have Hell's Coming With Me. That is the best part. Hell's Coming With Me. You tell them, you run, you cur. You tell them they're coming. You tell them the law's coming. You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. Great line. Overboard. Kurt Russell was a good one, too. I forgot we were talking. Call me Snake. And Lee Van Cleef is in there. Maybe Hood. Who knows? The others can't. Like I said, I Hateful Eight, another good one. I'm sorry we got off into a Kurt Russell tangent. Losing the locker room sounds like every Giant coach who came in there got fired. Bang the drum. Roll slowly. WK says, I know it's early. Who's going to be the hero? Game one, likely Neighbors. I'm going to tell you this, guys, right now. I've already called the score. I've already called the score for you. And you want me to tell you who's going to be the hero of this game? It's going out. I'm going to pick, if healthy, I'm going to pick you a hero. Hold on. I'm going to pick you a hero, if healthy. Cam Scatterboo is going to be the hero week one against the Dallas Cowboys when the New York Giants take the home opener 24-17. Cam Scatterboo, 117 yards on 17 carries and 2 touchdowns.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Where the fuck did that come from? But I'm telling you, that's what it's going to be right now. Book it. This is a lock, brothers and sisters. Which side of the ball is going to show up most against Dallas and Cowboys to win the game? You know what's going to be surprising? It's going to be the defense. It is going to be the defense. I'm going to say it right now. The offense is going to play well, but the defense is going to excel because of the missile linebacker core. It is going to show you something that you have not seen in a few years now. I think people don't understand how. Listen, I was there with the 41-point loss. I was there. I was there for every opening day. I've been there since 76. I was there in 76 when we opened the Meadowlands and we lost to Dallas. But I'm going to tell you this right now. It's the Giant lock of the week. Would have been great if I had music. I should have some music. I could have called it the lock one of the week and had music. I got to find music. Everyone amuse yourselves. I just thought of, it's funny because this show is just a show, but I think about this with this show all the time.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Every time I go to the soundboard, I think of that music. Jack Burton. Oh, I got Jack Burton in here too. Okay, so I don't have any music. I don't have any music. I don't have any music. Oh, here we go.
Give me the honey.
It's the New York Giants lock of the week. Lock one to win. Book it now. We're calling it now. There we go. That's so people don't understand. That's what's going to happen. This is the lock, babies. This is the lock of the week. Just be there and understand it. A smarter better would actually take the money line and get 130 instead of laying the minus 110 teams that cover the spread for less than 3 wins outright 95% of the time. Joe, who the fuck cares? It's called we're winning. Mr. Finesse, where have you been, brother? Where have you been? Another one of my brothers who I've missed. I cannot wait for the season to start because people are coming back. I miss everybody. I'm doing good. Greg said, speaking of Michael Vick, he is my hometown, Newport News, West Virginia. Cool. Honey Pot's in his house. What's up, Honey Pot? I always miss talking to Honey Pot, but recently you've been on your porch with the dogs. But I always love it when you're in the car and the police cars are coming by. Because I'm always thinking to myself, what did he do? It's like, run, Honey Pot, run. That's what I always tell James Williams. It's like, run, James, run. It's amazing how much energy this show takes. Washington has been mostly playing nickel, doing with Phillips. Yes, he has. That's why I said he's been playing nickel, and he's also playing a little bit in safety position. Washington will end up as starting nickel corner. Book it. Wilson likes to play 3 safeties in his nickel coverages. Well, then we shouldn't be using him. Slider says, you see that, Ike? It's U.S. Marshall. Oh, yeah. Good, another good one. Let's see here. Spy Smasher. WK says, what does WK says? I know you're not a huge Ricard fan. Do you see us running towards the right side? It has nothing to do about being a Patrick Ricard fan. And it's not that I'm not a fan of what he does. It's the over-evaluation of what Giant fans think he's going to do. That's where I have a problem. That's where I have a little bit of an issue. It's that over-evaluation of that. This guy only plays like 30. The last 2 years, he's only played like 36% of the snaps. And I love it, though, because I can't remember who was on. We had a guest on, and they were like, well, that, he's playing 36%. That means, he's only not playing 64% of the time. I'm like, yeah. But if you really truly are going to be a impactful player in the run game, I would think you would at least play 55, 60% of the snaps. It's the over-evaluation about what this guy is going to do in the offense. This is not a fullback league. This hasn't been a fullback league since Charles Way or Henry Hanoski. He's an extra blocker. He's basically an extra offensive lineman. He doesn't run the ball. He doesn't catch the ball. Doesn't have any career touchdowns. But he's going to do the things that we need him to do, and he is, for all intents and purposes, a hardball guy. Pepper Johnson followed Bill Parcells everywhere because Pepper Johnson was a hardball guy. Was a Parcells guy. Ricard is a hardball guy. So it's the over-evaluation of what he's going to mean to this team that annoys me with people. But I think he is going to be a contributor, and I think he's going to play well, and I think he's going to be part of what he needs to do. Brandon, what's up, baby? Where have you been? Another one. Omega Fortune, Johnny Wishbone reporting in another one who we haven't seen forever. Where have you been? Brandon, I don't know. Where have you been? Johnny Wishbone, where have you been? And I can't find the Johnny. See, this is how long it's been. I can't find Johnny Wishbone. And I really have to do this. I have to make the commitment to labeling the fucking soundboard.
I don't know what the fuck you just said, little kid, but you special, man. You reached out and you touched it by the heart.
I really got to do it, but I found it.
I'm Johnny Wishbone, psychic extraordinaire. If you need me, just think Johnny Wishbone, and I come running.
There we go. Johnny Wishbone's Mr. Jackson. Oh, my God. I love it. Where have you been? Mr. Tim, I've been fucking great. Where have you been? Oh, it's the off season. This is literally like Mr. Rivera is there as well. This is literally like baseball. When you get in spring training, you haven't seen everyone all year. You get ready to the season, everyone fucking shows up. This convoluted offensive staff construction scares me, but I hope it turns up in practice soon. It's going to take time. It's going to take time, guys. Relax. We got this. All new offenses, when you install it, take time. You have a head coach that's not panicking. If your head coach is not sitting there and panicking, why are you going to panic? And it's not even the fact that we look at this. Arvell Reese, man. I look at her. I'm watching some of this Arvell Reese shit. This guy is a beast. This guy's a fucking beast, man. I'm watching a little bit of some of the plays that he had, and he looks like a man among boys. I love this one. This is interesting here. Vis-a-vis the Athletic, which is interesting because probably none of these people were ever athletes. Jackson Dart ranked 24th best quarterback in the NFL by executive and coaches. I have to see who's on this fucking list. Who is on this list that's better than Jackson Dart? If Daniel Jones is on this list and is better than Jackson Dart, I'm going to fucking vomit. Where's the list? Where's the list that he's in tier 3? There are only 32 teams. So you are telling me there are only, and what did I say he was? 24th. So you are telling me there's only 6 quarterbacks below Jackson Dart, and that's what these executives are ranking him as? What's this fucking list? Where is this list? Someone get me the list. Because that's just crazy. Where's Drake May? I can't find the fucking list. Where is the list? I'm not going to the Athletic because they're probably going to make me want to pay for something. And we don't put any money into this show because that's, I don't know. GM, I don't know if Dart is going to be, I'm not sure Dart is going to last. Let's see here. The Athletic annual NFL quarterback tier survey. I'm going to give Jackson Dart a nudge and give him a 3 arrow up. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I got the list. Is this the list? Rank 35 quarterbacks. Okay, let's see here. Tier 1, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrows. Tier 2, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert's a little bit overrated right there. Dak Prescott. Let's see, tied with Drake May. How can you say Drake May? Jared Goff, Jordan Love. Okay, I give Jordan Love. Brock Purdy. I can't see Brock Purdy 11th, tied with Caleb Williams on the list. Jaden Daniels at 13. Baker Mayfield at 14. Sam Darnold at 14. Trevor Lawrence at 16. Jalen Hurts at 17. Tier 3. Bo Nix should be above right now. Justin Herbert at 18. Aaron Rodgers, you got at 19. He should be like in the low 20s. CJ Stroud should be about where he's at number 20. You have Daniel Jones above Jackson Dart in reference to tiers, and you have a tier 3 quarterback. Jones had the largest ever year-over-year jump in votes. He said career best in yards attempts, passing yard. You know what? These are career attempts, and these are oh my freaking Bryce Young at 22, then Kyler Murray at 23, then Jackson Dart. I don't know, guys. True Tavala. Then Jackson Dart. Those are the players, and Jackson Dart is just behind Jackson Dart is Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck, Tua Tagovailoa, and Kirk Cousins, Malik Willis, Geno Smith, Deshaun Watson.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
That's why people don't like beat writers and things, and they give these polls, and these people are fucking morons. I know Smiley Smiler allows it tons of catches, not awful shuffling out of the lineup, but CWK says more than a few times Derrick Henry had those big runs behind Ricard blocking. Yes, but he also had a lot of runs without him. I'm just saying, the guy that plays 36% of the time, what's up? I'm just saying. Omega, UPS trucking as usual, brother. Hopefully you're listening to us in the show. Let's see here. Love Charles Way. Could run, could catch, could block. Was our Mike Allstott sad? He got hurt in 99 and that was it. Listen, I was in Tampa with Mike Allstott. I love Mike Allstott. Mike Allstott to me was the true consummate fullback. He was the guy that should have been, you look in the picture, the fullback position should be defined by Mike Allstott. Let's see here. The Giants just need to learn how to work together in a new offensive scene. We're all going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Reese is a beast. Reese, man, I'm just looking at this Reese shit, bro. There was no way on God's green earth did I ever think that Orville Reese was going to fall to us at 5. Same thing with Big France. I had no rationale to even think that. And then when the Cardinals did what they did and picked up a franchise running back when their franchise doesn't even have a quarterback, and you saw that, and you saw them sitting there, I had Micah Parsons flashbacks. I had Josh Allen Hines flashbacks. Josh Allen, the linebacker out of Kentucky. I had the flashbacks, the guy that is sitting there waiting for us, the perennial all-pro Pro Bowler. And then we go out and take Kadarius Toney or Daniel Jones. And then when that name was called, it was like, listen, I've been following this team since Brian Kelly and Brad Van Pelt. When that name was called, I was like, we finally got our guy. And now to watch him play and do the things that he does on the field. And yes, I know it's just training camp, but you can see the athleticism. We're still only at 40 likes. Did I not mention we want to hit 50 in the next 28 minutes? Because I think I did. Because I was there when I said it when I was there. Because I was there when I said it. I think that's lunch. It's going to take time, a whole lot of precious time. Greg says, I think Reese will end up not coming off the field at all. Reese is going to be a 3-down linebacker. Book it. Reese is going to be that guy. He is going to be, now Tremaine Edmonds, I do think is going to come off the field, but Reese is, yes, no, I don't need a complimentary getaway to Margaritaville. Sorry, I don't need that. Or maybe I do, I don't know. Away again, a Margaritaville. Looking for my lost shaker of salt. Don't need that. James Stein said, let's hope the Giants can earn all the new stuff well enough to win games. What's up, my brother? Reese, defensive rookie of the year. I would have to say, yes, he is the defensive rookie of the year. In my mind, he would be leading the pack right now if he's the defensive rookie of the year. I'm waiting. I just get so pissed now about this media lockdown because you can't get any fucking information out of camp. Yeah, the beat writers will put their opinions, and everyone has different opinions. Dan Schneider said, drop it. Come on, Todd Munkins. I know your dream is to be a head coach, but Jack Start, Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterby were a much better offensive line, and the retreads, the Browns are firing. I love that people are still bashing Todd Munkins. Todd Munkins has never had a head coaching job in his life. Todd Munkins is like 40 plus years old. And they said to Todd Munkins, hey, you want to be the coach of an NFL team? No, I'd rather be the offensive coordinator of the Giants. Tim, you need to hire a producer. Maybe one day we will hire a producer. Maybe we'll have a new show come out and need a producer for bats, balls, and bad decisions. Unscripted, unqualified, and unapologetic. We may need that producer. I love it because there's, because we're so wonderful. People are fighting over the new show. I hear Reese is playing very well in camp. How well is he really doing? I don't know. No one tells us. Yes, I don't understand it. Lamar Jackson is a tier 2. Yeah. Okay. Soaring Wing says any list that has Jalen Hurts outside the top 10 is ridiculous. Should be thrown out. You mean You've seen Jalen Hurts play, right? Just throwing that out there. Stroud was 22. That was just crazy. Brock Purdy is very overrated, in my opinion. I agree with that. Who the fuck made this list? Ray Charles. Listen, who is 25? Oh, didn't we just read who was 25 to 24? Here we go. 25 to 24. Michael Penix is number 32. Jacoby, it goes after Jackson Dart. It goes after Jackson Dart. It goes Tyler Shook, Tula Holovinsky, Kirk Cousins, Malik Willis, Geno Smith, Deshaun Watson, Michael Penix, Jacoby Brissett, J.J. McCarthy, Shador Sanders, Fernando Mendoza. I did not see Fernando Mendoza on this list. And he's going to be the starting quarterback. He's going to be the starting quarterback at a certain point. I think, it's funny. I think they're going to roll out Kirk Cousins. Then all of a sudden, like the second series of the first game, they were like, get in there, kid. Let's see what you got. Does anyone think about Eli's Hall of Fame year? I don't know. I think at least he's ahead of Ward. Yes, he's one spot ahead of Ward. Let's see here. Let's see. What does Mr. Hiker says? Why are Tyler Shook and Cam Ward on the list then? I don't know. I don't get it. Nobody pronounces Tua Falahola Tim better than Tim. Of course, that's everyone's name. That's like we have Mike Falahola playing right guard. Gotta run. Okay, Smash. Have yourself a good day. Mike Slider says every time Mike calls out of the ball, good God, get the fuck out of the way. That was my philosophy. Thank you, Cardinals. Thank you. I love the Cardinals. So go. What's up, brother? What's up, Chud? WK says the anticipation of the Giants Dallas on Sunday is going to be madness. Isn't Todd Munkins, I believe, is in his I think Todd Munkins is in his late 50s, who has never been an NFL head coach. Finally gets, yes, and I understand it is with the Cleveland Browns. Finally gets a chance to be the head coach of a team, and then all these people are bashing him because he took the opportunity. I'm still watching some of Jackson Dart's footwork. It looks better. I'm looking at some of his footwork and it looks better. And I'm watching there's a couple throws here that I'm watching that I'm liking here. There's also a couple things that I'm watching that I'm not liking. He threw a pass to Theo Johnson that went to the outside when it should have went to the inside. Now, I'm not going to totally fault the kid for that, but I'm watching this and I'm just kind of like, the footwork looks better. It does. The footwork does look a hell of a lot better. And it's starting to look better. But he's still turning that out. He's still turning that outside foot. But listen, you're not going to fix it. You're not going to fix everything at once. WK says, in my opinion, when it's time, Carter and Slayton are all on the trading block. Well, I don't think Carter's going to go on the trading block. I don't think he's going to go on the trading block, but that's okay. 2 Browns quarterbacks are on the 32 list. Yeah, it's true. Joe Spano says, Jose, you also had a head coach of Southern Ole Miss. Hans Second is 60. Okay, good. I didn't know. That's it. Let's see here. Better luck to him. He's going to need it. I was watching Dart 2 on his rollouts passing. He keeps I'm watching some of the Dart film, and he doesn't have the hop stepper like he had in that game against the Browns. But it's interesting. It's still interesting with that foot and the way he's turning. Justin Baltimore signed 2-time Pro Bowler Zay Flowers to reach an agreement today for the Baltimore Ravens for a 4-year, $140 million extension that includes $108 million in guaranteed money per his agent. I don't even want to know if Zay Flowers got that amount of money. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to fucking know what a healthy Malik Neighbors isn't going to get. Yeah, Zay Flowers has had 2,000-yard seasons in a row, and his catch ratio has gone up from 53.4 to 59.3. He's catching about 70 yards a game. His yards per target is 10.3 yards down the field. But if Zay Flowers gets $140 million, I could see it now in 2 years of when Malik Neighbors comes back. It's going to be like.
And breaking news here from the New York Giants: Malik Neighbors just signed a record $4,968 billion extension.
Jackson Jackrabbit Dart. Yeah, I mean he got some bag there, Zay Flowers. I mean that's some fucking bag, man. That's some bag. The Raiders once again sent out the most phenomenal, and if you have an opportunity to watch it, they have the most phenomenal season ticket holder gifts. And it's this beautiful like briefcase that's got all this stuff in there and all these, it's just phenomenal. And evidently last year's gift was just phenomenal as well. This year, I haven't gotten my preseason gift yet for the Giants. And last year they gave away a pitcher with the Super Bowl trophy or a white football. And I think this year they kind of gave away the same shit. You're one of the most richest franchises in the world. And I got to watch this guy from the fucking Raiders open up like a silver and black briefcase with all this shit in it. And I got to sit there and of course I posted and I said, what did I post? I said, what the New York Giants season ticket holders get? And I have Charlie Brown sitting there holding the bag going, I got a rock. Definitely going to be tough to pay anyone. I agree. It's going to be different. Zay Flowers a bit overrated to me. I don't disagree. Do you Bleav in this running back room? No. No, I do not Bleav in this running back room. I'm not saying this running back room does not have talent, but I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it again. You are a Cam Scatterboo ankle, Tyrone Tracy shoulder from seeing Devin Singletary and Eric Gray. That should scare the bejesus out of everybody. This should send people running to the fucking door and looking for any type of running back on the street. Now, I'm not saying this running back room does not have talent, but the depth is not there. And you're not hearing anything about the other running backs. I would take the free medium Pepsi. I swear our Super Bowls within the next few years, once we start paying everyone, then we will turn into a team like the 49ers. Listen, you got a long ways to go from that. I don't think you're paying Kayvon Thibodeau. You already have Andrew. You know what's funny? You got Andrew Thomas locked up. And you have to look at this from the perspective of who's going to be your core components on this team. By the time you get really good, Brian Burns is probably going to be at the end of his deal. You're going to have to see what Abdul Carter is. There, you got to see what Jackson Dart is. And now you see this list where you question Jackson Dart being the 26th ranked quarterback in the NFL, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's a stupid list. And, I know it's a list. And you got to have the silly season. You got to have these stupid things out there. And you got to take it with a grain of salt. But it's just there. But the 49ers have cultivated talent over the years, even though they trade away their first round picks a lot. They have cultivated talent and tried to retain some of their talent. That's what the Giants need to do, and that's what the Giants need to hope for. Let's not be the Niners. There's a team that can't keep their players healthy. Don't the Niners play on grass? Just asking for a friend. Don't the 49ers play on grass?
My hypocrisy goes only so far.
Can you envision Reese playing defensive end in about 3 years? No. No. You need an impact defender. You need a guy, like I said before, in the field in my backyard. You want him to be like dog shit. You want him to be everywhere all over the field. You want Reese to be the impact guy. You want Reese to have the ability and the capability to move anywhere on the field. You want to be able to rush the passer, stop the run, drop him in coverage. You want him to be everything to this defense. You want him to be Ray Lewis. You want him to be Lawrence Taylor. You want him to be Ditka. You want him to be Luke Kuechly. You want him to be Patrick Willis. That's who you want this guy to be. You don't want to limit him by putting him on the defensive line and taking away the unpredictability and some of the aspects of his game that cannot be taught. That's what I don't want. I'm sure you answered this question already. Okay, going to the next one. I'm sorry. Sure you answered this question already, but please tell me, are you going to do a game day show depending on if you're going to the game? Of course. Yes, we do a game day unless I am at the game. Even when I'm at the game, we do a game day show. If I am at the game, I'm thinking this year, because we do a show every Sunday. We do a 10 a.m. show every Sunday. And, since we're so big time now, I'm thinking of doing a show. I'm thinking of streaming from the parking lot the game days that we are there. I'm thinking of doing, because we always park at F8, and I'm thinking of streaming live from the parking lot. I have power units. It was funny though. I did the Judy Batista interview from a hotel room in Miami using my phone's internet, because the Verizon at MetLife fucking sucks, but I can use my phone's internet. And I did almost a 40-minute spot with Judy. So, and we only had one spot that was bad internet wise. So I'm thinking that we're going to do our show. We're back this Sunday. I was only missed this Sunday, and I did Sunday night because I was in Miami. I'm back this Sunday, and then we are going to do a like we always do. We've done it now for the last 2 years. 10 a.m. We're going to do a pregame, and then we'll have a postgame video, and then we will follow it up Monday with a live stream. But I don't know a time yet. But I'm working out all the logistics here with that. We got a lot of things that are logistically going on that we need to work out logistically, because it's the logistics of being logistical. I don't know. I've said this before. I'm a dumbass in my office on a microphone. I don't fucking know. You want this? People want things figured out. This is the money. I'm talent. I shouldn't be figuring shit out. I'm not that smart. But no, we will do a show every Sunday. I might stream live during the preseason. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about setting up a little tent, because we have a tent, getting there early, maybe streaming live from the parking lot because the game starts at 1, maybe doing like a 10 or 11, probably doing a 10 o'clock stream, and kind of just see where it goes from there. I know it's the professionalism that everyone enjoys. Let's see here. Our running back room is a big question mark. Hopefully we can fix it by week 1. I agree. I think we'll be fine. Super early of your Harbs in next year's draft. What position do you address? That is beyond super early, because I don't know if I'm going to need a quarterback. I'm probably going to need a running back. Potentially going to need an interior offensive lineman, because I might need 2 interior offensive linemen. Runyon's not going to be here, and there's Jermaine Illuminor. You hope Big Francis pushes him and he moved Big Francis out to the right tackle. So I could need 2 interior linemen. I could need a center. I mean, right now it's a big question right now, but a question mark I would probably go was running back. I'd probably go running back. Think Reese is getting any snaps on the defensive? I think you'll get some snaps on the defensive end. I do think it will be there. And I've said this before. I consider Arvell Reese a hybrid player. And I don't consider him a hybrid player in regards to an Isaiah Simmons, who was a safety and this. I consider him a hybrid player in the fact that he can play both on the inside and the outside of the linebacker position. That's the way I see him. I see him to have that ability to bounce from the inside to the outside, to drop into coverage, to play the run on the outside, to rush the passer from the interior to exterior, and even drop out and cover the tight end of the running back. I see him doing those things. I want him to be Ray Lewis. I want him to be... He's not going to be Lawrence Taylor, because Lawrence Taylor did so many other things, but he basically did it on the right outside linebacker position. I want him to be Ray Lewis. I want him to be Luke Kuechly. I want him to be Patrick Willis. That's the way I want him to play. What will be interesting to see is if Reese ultimately pushes to be the full-time edge because of pain disparity between the edge and the outside linebacker. We could see that. John Spahn says preseason live, a nice bonus. Joe, why don't you? I don't know if you're around, Joe. Why don't you come on for a minute? I'm gonna copy the link. We haven't had Joe Spano on in a little bit. What the fuck just happened there? I don't know if you're around, Joe. I'll put the link in the chat. I don't know what the fuck just happened there. I pushed the wrong button. Everything just went crazy. Everything just went nuts. Let's get crazy. Let's get nuts. You give Zay Flowers all that fucking money. I think you have gone crazy. I think you have gone nuts. Eli Apple is a cautionary tales for the New York Giants Deontay Banks. Oh my God. Blame it on the rain. Oh, here we go. How the 50 executives. All right. I found the list. Hold on. Here we go. I found a copy of the list. All right. Here we go. I'm going to pull this list up. Hold on a minute here. I can't figure out what the fuck's going on here. Hold on one second. We're going to drop in the venerable Joe Spano if I can figure out how to fucking make this work. Joe.
What's happening, Tim, baby? Long time no speak.
I know. I've been busy. I've been disappearing and going to Florida.
Well, Miami's a hell of a place to be, man.
It is. Hopefully we found a spot. But I found the list. Hold on. I got to pull this list up. Because I think the people are on crack. And I know these are certain NFL executives, but they never tell you who the NFL executives are. And I'm going to have to remove the banner so we can see the complete list, because I think whoever was doing this was.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Okay, listen, I like Patrick Mahomes. But there's no way Patrick Mahomes, coming off an injury, coming off the fact that he is losing his luster, is number one, and Allen and Stafford are number two, tied for number two, behind him with Burrows at 4. I mean, I would take Patrick Mahomes and move him more towards the Justin Herbert spot at 6.
Yeah.
And actually, I would probably put him at 8, because I would take Dak. I would take Dak, Jackson, Burrow, Stafford, and Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes right now.
I mean, anytime you have a player on the wrong side of 30 coming off a torn ACL, it's hard to put him at the top of this list, and it's an ACL he tore late in the year.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect this to be Patrick Mahomes' best season, just by the fact he's going to be better in November than he is in September. I think he's going to have some issues early in the year.
Now, if we go from the bottom of the list from 35 up to Jackson Dart at 25. Shador Sanders, I could see being where he's at. Same with J.J. McCarthy. Jacoby Brissett had his best season last year at Arizona. He got his 1-year deal. I would probably put Jacoby Brissett above Kirk Cousins, and I would probably move him up to 28, only because of the fact that he is going to be more important to the Arizona Cardinals this year than Kirk Cousins because of this quarterback they drafted, number 1 overall in Los Angeles. But then you look at it as Michael Penix, Deshaun Watson, Geno Smith, no problem with any of that. Malik Willis at 29. I have no problem with the Malik Willis at 29 because Malik Willis is still an unknown in Miami, and he's probably going to be on the worst team in the league. But then I look at this list, and you have above Jackson Dart, you have Kyler Murray. I don't know if I think I actually agree with that, Joe, in Minnesota with Kyler Murray.
I mean, he did bomb in Arizona, and Brissett was actually the better quarterback. I mean, I think we're splitting hairs. I think the couple that are most egregious, and again, I get your case on Patrick Mahomes. Brock Purdy is way overrated. He's, to me, the classic bus driver as a quarterback. He's a caretaker. He's a game manager. If the talent's there,
Joe, you're gonna have to log back in because I think your internet's breaking up here.
All right, I'm gonna log back in a second. Let me get
All right, we're gonna move Joe off because his internet's breaking up there. But what gets me like on this list is Bryce Young. Bryce Young had a under 500 team make the playoffs, played well at times, but I'm not putting him over Jackson Dart. Daniel Jones. I'm not putting Daniel Jones over Jackson Dart. Hell, I'm not putting Aaron Rodgers over CJ Stroud. I will, but I'm not putting Aaron Rodgers over Jackson Dart. Bo Nix to me should be in the tier 2. And if I take a look at this, Brock Purdy should be, if you want to put him in tier 2, I put Brock Purdy in tier 3, and I take Bo Nix and put in tier 2. This is some certain fucking convoluted list that I'm just looking at like, how could you have this? Develop a quarterback that we can develop. My apologies for the super question season. Can't get here fast enough running out of my mind, running out of questions. No, WK, it's all good, brother. Let's see here. The Dolphins Giants practice open to the public in Florida, G-Man, January. I already know. I already contacted the Dolphins. They're not happy with me. So I already contacted the Dolphins, Joe. They're not happy with me. We won't get into why, but they're not happy. No. They are not happy with New York Giants straight talk. So we're not gonna get into why though. But some people just hold grudges. I was just saying I would put Bo Nix in the light blue list, the tier 2 list, above Brock Purdy.
Oh, definitely. Brock Purdy to me, he's a classic bus driver, caretaker quarterback. He's as good as the talent you put around him. I don't think he elevates anybody. I think he's a game manager quarterback.
He's a game manager. That's exactly what he is. He's a game manager.
And so a game manager at 11 is crazy. I mean, I think Jaden Daniels is better than him, Caleb Williams, Sam. I think this entire blue tier of tier 2 guys are all better than Brock Purdy. And as you said, he's definitely in that tier 3 category. He's a game manager.
Yeah. That's exactly what I see him as. I can't see him on that list. And I was arguing with the fact that I can't take Bryce Young over Jackson Dart. I can't put Daniel Jones over Jackson Dart. Hell, I can't even put Aaron Rodgers over Jackson Dart because of Aaron Rodgers, 4,978 years old.
Oh, I think you said it perfectly. When you look at the guys they have directly above Jackson Dart has the potential to be better, as does Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck, and move up this list. Bryce Young, we know what Bryce Young is. He's not getting any better. I don't see any more room for growth. Daniel Jones, there's no more room for growth. Stroud, maybe, but Aaron Rodgers is not going to grow. He's only going to get worse. So when you rank quarterbacks and you look at them for the 2026 season, you're looking at more than just their production in 2026. You're looking at where you can expect them to go in the future. And an awful lot of these guys directly in front of Jackson Dart are not quarterbacks that are going to grow and get better. If anything, many of them are going to get worse, or they're exactly what they are right now. Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck all have the potential to get better. How can you move up this list?
How can you tie Brock Purdy with what Caleb Williams did last year?
I don't know. But I didn't make this. Again, they say 50 executives and coaches. Executives. Well, Pat Hanlon's an executive for the Giants.
Well, yeah, I was going to say it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. They could be. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I doubt that's the case, but I don't know what executives they're getting. I don't know how many of these coaches are quality control coaches. I don't know who they're talking to.
Here's my question. Again, I'm not picking on Brock Purdy because I think Brock Purdy only had like 20 touchdowns and 10 interceptions last year because I don't think he played the whole season. I think he only played for like 2,000 yards. If you take Jackson Dart's talent and you take current Jackson Dart and put him on the current 49ers team, is he at the same level as Brock Purdy, or is he a little bit lower?
No, I think he's better than Brock Purdy. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It makes zero fucking sense.
if you put Jackson Dart now, where he is as a development now, on those 49ers teams that made Brock Purdy a star, the results would have been far better with Jackson Dart.
Right.
Jackson Dart could do things off schedule. Did Brock Purdy make one off schedule play for the 49ers in that 2-year window where the 49ers were near the top of the league? I didn't see any.
Not that
I
I can
didn't see
think of.
him pull anything out of his ass the way Jackson Dart does. I mean, it's my opinion.
So why don't you like Art Stapleton? Why don't you think he's a handsome man?
He's not handsome. Good. I'll tell you, amongst those beat reporters, he's one of the better ones.
I was going to
But
say, literally, I think he's probably out of the group. He's probably the best one.
he probably is. Oh no, he probably is. I won't argue with you there. He's just not cosmetically pleasing. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. He's not cosmetically pleasing. Sorry. The others may be better looking, but they we can debate their merits as beat reporters.
Listen, we don't have the we don't have the cream of the crop when it comes to looks in reference to our beat writers.
No, we don't. I mean, they got a couple of
throw that out there. I'm just throwing that out there.
But, that's not their job is not to look good. Their job is to provide information, which they do with varying results. I mean, it is what it is. But
I love this one. Joe Spano has the whole Teen Wolf hanging out of the top of the shirt.
Yeah, a little bit of hair going on.
You know what? You got at least it's in both areas. At least it's on the head and the chest. I remember when they played 6 preseason games. It's only inconceivable now if you think about that. Now, I remember when they played 5, and I remember when they just played 4. But I mean, like I said, Joe, the preseason right now, and I don't understand it because of the fact that you look at the whole idea of eliminating the preseason games, eliminating the number of padded practices, which is 16 total for the entire camp. John Harbaugh's pushing the envelope right now when he's doing 10 out of 11 practices. He's going to have 3 padded practices in a row when they're up and Wednesday, and Thursday will be a mandatory day off because of the CBA. But if you take a look at the actual injury reports that are over the last couple of years, the number of injuries in the preseasons has not gone down, but the number of injuries in the first 3 weeks of the season has gone up exponentially.
Right.
So I don't understand how the Players Association looks at this and doesn't see that proper training, putting on the pads. I'm not saying run 2-a-days, but putting on the pads and playing your guys in preseason is actually a benefit and not a hindrance going into the first 3 weeks of the season.
Everybody you talk to that's ever played football at any reasonable level says the only way to train for contact is contact.
It's contact.
You can't replicate contact until you get hit. They talk about everybody coming off an injury. Well, we'll know if he's back when he takes his first hit and how he bounces back from that. I mean, that's it. You can't replicate contact without contact. So if you take these players, wrap them in bubble wrap for the entire training camp and exhibition season, when you get them out on the field, finally taking contact in week 1, here come forget the torn ACLs and everything else, but here come the strains, the pulls. And the next thing you know, guys lost a half a season, or it just becomes a lost season where this guy never gets right. That's what we're seeing more than ever.
That's what we call deep tissue injuries. So far, I agree with everything you're saying about the quarterback list. Also, Jaden Daniels should be tier 3 too. I do agree that Jaden Daniels after last season, because he didn't have, even before he got injured, he wasn't having a great year. I do think that he should be put down there. Rookie Giant, CJ Davis has been primarily playing left tackle in camp, according to Dan Dugans. Davis has the highest pro football rating in the draft class at his position at 87.8. And where did we take JC Davis again? I forget.
6th round. He was one of the 3 6th rounders. They're talking about cross training him. I think at some point he's another guy that gets moved inside to guard. He fits the profile of the size profile and physicality of a Harbaugh guard. He's got experience on the left side. I could see if they're not able to invest heavy early draft capital on a guard the next year, that a guy like J.C. Davis steps in there and gets a chance to get reps at guard.
I'm not worried about that. James Stein says, well, the quarterback rankings does not mean a thing. I agree. Spano's back. I don't understand the quarterback rating. It is for one game, one season, or 10 years. I don't know.
I think they don't define what it is. So
they might. Hold on. They might. I mean, I'm not going to the Athletic because I'm not giving the Athletic money because they probably want money. I'm not giving
$2 a month for the first year.
Oh, that's $2 a month too much. Tim and Joe, whoever made this, what do you think is the reason for putting Dart at 24? You know what? You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
WK, you want me to be honest? I think a lot of what's happening with Dart is more off field than on field. Because he was the golden boy. He was the poster child. He was the love child. He was everyone's favorite quarterback at the end of the season. He was the guy that had that je ne sais quoi. He had that guy that was going to be rolled up into multiple he was going to be Joe Montana, Steve Young, and all these scrambling quarterbacks rolled up, and then he went to a certain event. And now people are like, well, he's not that good.
So they're all following in the shoes of giant girl content creator, huh? She was ahead of the curve. Scary.
Yeah, he was. But I personally think that's what a lot of it is. Joe Ferry says Dart ahead of Ward and Shook, yet behind them in rookie. I was going to say the same thing. He performed. Yeah, he was ahead of them. Yet he was. I don't know.
I definitely think Dart had a better rookie year than Ward. Ward came on late. But I think Dart had the better rookie year. Shook was interesting, and Shook was a pleasant surprise for New Orleans, and he showed a lot.
I'm not saying that he's, I'm not saying that but to the point, I look at this and I say, hey, listen, I mean, yeah, I mean, their list does not make a lot of, in my humble opinion, and everyone knows that I am not a Jackson Dart fan. I don't know what Jackson Dart's going to be yet, but I do understand the fact that if you take a look at this list, he's a lot better than some of these people that they have listed. So I think I don't want to say there's a New York bias, but I think in some ways there's something going on here besides that. Joe Ferry says, wow, Art Stapleton looks like an old shoe.
Damn.
Come on, guys.
Actually, that's a good picture of him. He looks much worse. Go on to his podcast. He looks much worse than that.
Listen, Art Stapleton, come on, guys. Let's leave Art alone. And did I mention on Sunday Art Stapleton's going to be on the show? No, I'm just joking.
Oh, good. Well, then he'll love hearing this. Hey, you got to be, if you're a content creator, you come on here, you got to take crap from not only the hosts, but also the chat. It's just kind of the way it is.
Let's see. Damn, Tim, you're pushing that envelope. Now, yeah, Miami doesn't like me. One day Joe Spana knows the Miami story, but one day I'll get into one day at the end of the season, I will tell the Miami Dolphins story. So one day, the venerable Art Stapleton. Let's see here. Neither of you guys are Brad Pitt. I know, man. I didn't say I was. Like I said, I like Art. Look at that. I think Art's a handsome man.
Okay.
I keep saying that. I keep saying that over and over again. It's these other guys that are bashing him, not me. I might just keep this up all show. It's not me. It's Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Pick on me, Jennifer. I can take it.
Let's see. Tim and Spotter are going to team up in Miami. No, trust me. Yeah. I will be in Miami.
Both live in Miami at some point in the not too distant future, but that's
yes, we have another show. We have another walkthrough on Friday, so that'll be interesting. So we got another, but we found a unit, but there was just a lot of things going on. But we didn't back out of it.
Tear out the kitchen. You'll tear out the kitchen. If it's got floor to ceiling windows and a view, you can put some money in it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it was a lower penthouse, so it was perfect, but there was association issues. Dan, Tim, you love pushing that envelope. I always do, brother. Let's see here. There's a reason he is a 6th rounder. That is going to be J.C. Davis. Let's see here. Lull, Giant Fangor, Cohen Ball. Let's see here. So that was good. Let's see. Joe Ferris also says, looks like prime Rick Moranis. on a hot diet in the photo. Let's see. Leave Art Stapleton. I'll leave Art Stapleton alone.
All right.
Art Stapleton, friend of the show, because that's going to be the new phrase. Let's see. WK says, what do you two think about Dart on the list if it was a potential for this year? We talked about it. You know, it is what it is.
He moves up a handful of slots. There's a lot to work with, but there's a lot wrong too.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to work with, but there's a lot wrong too. But he's fine. Like I said, it's from the perspective of this list. I don't agree with it. And like I said, I'm wearing my Jackson Dart jersey, but I'm not a huge Jackson Dart supporter.
I mean, just remember something. And Tim's talked about it a lot on here. Last year, the coaching staff and the organization did him no favors. There was no development in year one for Jackson Dart compared to what was expected because you had a coaching staff and a general manager desperate to win now in order to save their phony baloney jobs. And that could show to some degree this year.
You're right.
It's probably showing right now with the issues he's having adjusting to the footwork changes they're trying to work on it with on him in camp.
Come on, Tim. You need that Miami. We need the Miami. Now I have to leave it for logistical and certain legal reasons. I have to leave it hanging for right now.
It's hanging.
It's hanging right now. But after the Super Bowl, I will give the Miami Dolphins story. They're not happy with it. The Slider says that is a handsome Joe Spano. How you doing, dude? Oh, Slider must have ducked out. Let's see here.
I'm doing good, Strider. It's always good to see you, man. Or hear from you.
Let's see. No content creator is safe from the show.
No,
it's not that. Nobody. There's no hiding.
Nobody's safe.
We don't go after people. You know that.
If you guys could dump on Sean Salisbury, we can dump on anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, Sean's handled that with what I thought Sean Salisbury would handle. And Spy Smasher and him going, he took and it was funny because I was just texting Sean, so I know he took no offense to any of it. So we were texting before the show, and just like a couple hours ago. So I know he basically said that he'll come on anytime we ask him. But I think he took. I mean, if you ever watched his show, I mean, he takes it all in stride. And if you are going to watch his show, we might as well give him a plug. You're going to have to go on to Unpaved with Sean Salisbury, of course, on the Bleav Network. It's also a daily live show at 1 p.m. So I don't know if he's on his show right now, but you can go. You can also catch the rebroadcast on Bleav at any time. And he's going to have a beauty contest, so you're going to have to just see and just wait to see what happens there. But also go check out Sean Salisbury, who I literally will say, as always, a friend of the show. But go check out his show. Don't check it out now because that means you would have to leave here.
But you know what's interesting? You saw his reaction to Spy and everything else. It's that type of confidence and bravado that it's one of the things that makes elite athletes elite athletes. Elite athletes, you look at NFL football players, Major League Baseball players, whether they are superstars or not, they don't lack for confidence. And it's one of the things that allows them to be successful. Like you look at like a Cam Scatterbo, and we're critical of his immature behavior. It's that recklessness that is one of the that's allowed him to get to where he is.
Right
now, it's the job of his coaches to rein it in. So sometimes expecting our athletes to act like we would, they're wired different. I've talked about it a lot on here, and the truth is they are wired different than us. That's why they behave like we do, and that's why a lot of times their reactions to things are what they are. It's what allows them to be successful in sports, and sometimes less so in life.
And Sean talks about that. Sean talks about his issues that he had, and his comeback though. But we're not going to get into Sean Salisbury because that's his own. He's got his own fucking show. I already told Sean, stop stealing my fucking thunder, man. I was on Bleav, then you show up. Like I got enough fucking problems.
Spano looks fresh for his age. I don't look bad for 150. It's true. Thanks, Joe Ferry.
Let's see. You're chilling in Georgia. Yeah, and Tom says, and we can stop acting like Dart is injury prone. He got one concussion. Actually, he had more than one concussion. He was in concussion protocol twice. And technically, I think he should have been in a third time. But but I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV, and I never stayed at a Days Inn. WK said, what is your biggest question looking to be answered week 1? I got nothing. My biggest question looking to be answered week 1 is very simple. Can there find any continuity on the offense? It doesn't have to score 40 points, but can they be consistent? Can they move the chains? Can they have the ability to sustain drives? Can they go out there and not have a 3 out and maybe only have a 6 or 7 play drive, but have those drive repeatedly so they can give the the defensive rest?
Okay. I'll go the other side of the ball. My biggest question is that secondary. Can it cover anybody? And they will get a major challenge with the array of weapons that the Dallas Cowboys are going to throw at them.
So I don't get an alert from your new videos. Does Solo have a video channel? Let's see. I can't. Another question. What's for dinner? What's for dinner tonight? I'm actually having roasted chicken with asparagus, and I am chopping up some zucchini.
Sweet. So, I'm making lasagna.
So that'll make it easier. Dude, frequent visits to the Blue Tent is a world record. Can we stop the run? All right, guys, listen. I actually have to go jump on a phone call in 4 minutes. So I think we're going to wrap this up. We're going to wrap this up today. I don't know if we're streaming tomorrow, but I think we will have a video out. We'll do a review of the practice again and see what's going on, hanging out there. We will have the live stream on Sunday, of course, as we always do. That'll be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to have a special guest. I'm not going to tell you who the special guest is going to be until we have them completely confirmed and wrapped up. I'm working with the NFL on that right now. So we'll have that person hopefully on Sunday for about 45 minutes. So we'll let you know exactly when that's coming out. Want to thank, of course, everyone from hanging out as long as they did. Want to thank the Venerable Joe Spano for dropping in. Want to thank, of course, the mighty FanDuel. It's FanDuel.com, #1 sportsbook in America, and ZipRecruiter. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter is the smart way to hire. And this is Tim for the Venerable Joe Spano. And Slogo, thank you very much. I appreciate you, brother. That's we are going to check out 2 hours and 17 minutes. We will see you tomorrow. And I'm out.
That motherfucker must have lost his goddamn mind.